You know, it's almost like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. On the hunt for weird AliExpress products for the last couple of years. And when you think you have seen it all, you find something that basically blows your freaking mind. And not sometimes in a good way. So with this product, we're going to get ourselves the 8-bit games mini game box family entertainment, new with 342 games. The thing is, it's always a surprise what you're going to get with these devices. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, we're just going to take a close look at this new NES Mini Classic. Or it is not really a NES Mini Classic anymore, because look at the system. There is nothing left. Like, this is a tiny box that comes with two front micro USB ports. At the back we're going to get ourselves another micro USB for the AV out. That is even more stranger. We're going to get the on and off switch over here. So this thing is super basic. The controls, oh man, let's look at this, because this is going to be like something next level of weirdness. So the controls, they still have the AB and the turbo function like always, but let's do an unwrapping because they do have a long very long cable. Get out of that. The controls are going to be like cheap. Like this is the ultimate cheap controller you can get. Like they almost weigh nothing. First of all, the smell test. They don't smell chemical anymore, but it comes with this weird long, and I must say positive, very long micro USB cable. But this is like the most flimsy plastic I have ever felt. Like the D-pad is awful. The first impression is not good. Like this super short travel, but it's super sturdy. Like that doesn't have a very nice feel because of a weird sound to it. Select and start, like nothing special, but it's a family, I think it's a family clone knockoff. But the cable, this is quite interesting. So back in the days we're going to get like the jack cable that you plug in and you're going to get your AV out signal. But now, look at this cable. It's super long, like it's absolutely crazy long. That's something you don't see very often, especially when you're having a price point that you're paying for these devices. But look at this, like micro USB, and the interesting way they configure this. So this is something you plug into your device itself. So this is of course the AV out. Yep. And they expect you having like a new generation TV or something like that with a USB, because this is basically where it gets the power from. Just get yourself an extra power supply, plug it in, and you're going to play some games. So the way that they made this is quite interesting. But yeah, so this is what you're going to get. Of course, the toilet paper manual, they're still giving you one, just a way and to explain you how it works. I must say, like, for the people who have no idea like what this is all about, yeah, I understand, like, we need an explanation. I just explained you like how you need to connect it, but it's just a very strange way, the first way I've ever seen it with a device like this. But okay, so they also state here you need to have like at least a 2 amp power supply, so it's something you need to take into consideration if you want to use a separate one. So okay, so let's hook it up and let's see what we're going to get. Alright, so I'm having this television that seems to be having a USB port. Take consideration that every single TV has this or has enough amps on it. But that's basically the way how I want to I just wanted to show you how you can connect it. One for the video, one for the audio signal, and that's it. Like that's the only thing that you need to do for connecting this device. And if it doesn't work, you can also get yourself a 5 volt phone charger. That's no problem, 12 volt. Wicked as a brain fart again. Okay, so let's hook it up. Let's hook up my television and let's see if this actually works. Alright, so let's power it on. Oh, okay, so it seems to be working. Getting enough juice from the television, but that's the only thing that we're going to need. Okay, so it's not a very long time I've tracked out NES Mini Classic, so here we're going to choose the Chinese and English language. Every time you need to reset it, it's going to be happening, or better said, powering on and off. So here we're going to get the Avenger. So the first thing I'm noticing, like they changed out the decals. Alright, so here we go in the Avenger games. Personally, I do like it that we're having less games, simply because otherwise we're going to get a lot of shit on it. Well, let's press select. Here we're going to go back to the main menu, finding games. Going to get a lot of naughty games. Collections are smaller now, it's way better. Shooting. 62. It's still filled up a couple of these homebrew games. Racing. And of course the UFO race. Puzzle. And this is the biggest list, 140 games. Let's try to see how good the emulation of this, or the gameplay in general is of this NES Mini Classic device. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing, there's a lot of interference in the audio. So there's no way of getting back into the main menu itself. So you did have like these Android weird looking devices or NES Mini Classic, they have pressing select and start, you can go back, but that is not the case here. So the configuration is quite weird in my opinion, because when you're looking at the controller, this is the normal jump button, this is the turbo. So basically using these buttons. I'm used to basically having this configuration of the NES back in the day that we're going to use these. Something you need to take consideration. Well, let's try some gameplay. The D-pad is quite responsive. The audio quality is not bad so far, I can hear. Alright, let's see if we're going to get all the sound effects. So, I must say the D-pad feels really horrible with this, but it makes this game playable. So I find that quite interesting to see. And I love the turbo buttons. Do you know what we call this? Turbo fisting. Punch him in the balls, punch him in the balls, turbo way, baby. When you're looking at the visual quality of it, I did notice with my previous NES Mini Classic I've reviewed that you kind of get like a lot of distortion in the signal, so we're going to get a lot of bad image quality, but this is not really bad. So it seems to be that they tried to keep improving it in the last couple of generations. Alright, number 4. Of the attention for using, never disassemble or repair the machine by. That is something I will decide. So let's rip it apart and let's do a teardown. So when it comes to technology nowadays, they can make like weird looking mini devices like this. If you think about it, back in the 80s, 90s, we had like these gigantic beasts of machines to run the old school games. How can they all slap it in a tiny box? But when it comes to these NES Mini Classic versions, they keep like shitting them out, even despite like nobody gives a shit or mostly about the NES anymore, like the classic minis, because the hype is over now. And I know like a lot of people will like just want to play these games. And then the question, is this something you should pick up? And yeah, like when it comes to the quality in general, like, I was quite surprised. So the first thing I'm noticing is the chip they are using. That is interesting. What the hell is the sticker all about? So in the previous model they had like this quite like tiny PCBs in a big case, but I was thinking, do you know what, let's shrink the case because we don't need the space. So the first thing that I'm noticing is like they're going to get this weird semi looking chip, and this is something I've never personally seen before on a device like this. So let's take a close look at the specs here at the top. It's version number 2 already. It's made in 2021, so this thing is not super old. So yeah, there was nothing much to see over here. It's kind of a NES on a mini or a NES on a chip. The only downside I find with these things, there is no way of adding or adjusting the game. So if you don't want to remove some games or you just want to add some stuff, that is not possible. So in my opinion, there's a little bit of a bummer. They should like start making those things. Oh wait, they did in the past, but you can't buy them anymore.